Hey guys, this is Nish from Official EV. Over the weekend, I had the pleasure of being invited by ZEEKR to attend the Sydney EV International Show at the ICC. I was able to take my family, and we were also invited to an exclusive 7X owners dinner, which I think was organized a little bit late, so only a few of us were able to attend. But it was great to see that ZEEKR was providing its owners with some support and really wanted to get to understand and understand the owners, how we've been driving and getting the feel of the car. Is there been any feedback from just the first couple of weeks that we've been driving the car that they need to be aware of, and be able to really understand how they can help in making sure the owners feel that they are getting what we paid for. So the EV show itself, I'll play some clips over the top shortly, but was just great to see some different car makers there, some competitors to the 7X, like the G9 was there. You can touch and feel it and see the differences to the car. But by far, I think most YouTubers would probably say that the ZEEKR stand was the most popular. It was just chock-a-block. I had to keep a close eye on the kids to make sure that they didn't get trampled over. It was very busy in the show. But I think the highlight for me was more the dinner on the Saturday night afterwards with the owners. Only 3 of the owners were able to attend the session, and we got to meet a couple of the executives from ZEEKR Australia. So thank you to the ZEEKR staff for inviting us, and really wanting to understand how we as owners are using the car and if there's any feedback. So we got to meet Frank Lee, who's the managing director for Australia and New Zealand. So he's locally based, as well as Alan from the Asia Pac region. So he looks at the distribution for the international Asia Pac region around the 7X, and wants to understand if there's any features in the car that need to be tweaked or resolved that help it being rolled out with other countries in Australia. And a couple of other ZEEKR staff were there from Australia as well, just to discuss with us, get some feedback, and really start to build that community and brand awareness for ZEEKR. Couple of the feedback items I think that they were interested in was around like the navigation, tweaking some of the language there. I know that I provided the saying that the navigation sometimes says instead of street or ST, it was saying Saint, and for road RD, it was saying RD. So it's little things like that. Here turn right instead of right here. Right here, turn right here. These were all small things that can be really fixed up quickly with a navigation. So I think they've taken that feedback on board. It was good to see that the feedback session was also held for the 009 owners. Earlier last year, I think, the 009 drivers and owners were had a similar session where they took some feedback, and they're about to receive their OTA updates with some of that feedback applied. So that's great to see that the ZEEKR is really interested in getting our feedback and then being able to apply OTA updates to address some of those concerns. Some of the other things that I think the feedback we provided was around, we like the ability to open and close the door using the button. I think one of the owners was just really chuffed at the fact that we could use that from an accessibility point of view. And some of the EV cars out there, it takes 2 hands to really open the door. So just having that simple and easy, and being able to control it via the screen as well, to say that if somebody's forgotten to close the door, you can just use the screen to electronic close the door. I provided the feedback around, I have young kids, so being able to have the sunshade for the roof be part of all of the different models is really great. as well as for the all-wheel drive, we've got the side shades at the back, so when the kids are asleep I can put that up. It'll provide some extra darkness and cover for them. And really the only other item we provided some information on feedback was the navigation, and we asked a lot of questions around what is the after sale support. So one of the good things that Frank told us about was that in Melbourne they've got a storage or a service center that has more than $1 million worth of parts for their ZEEKR cars. So, and the analogy he sort of put forward was that they've got a target of having 95% of the most common parts that are required by owners to be locally in Australia, so that if you have that need, you just go to your dealership, they sort of work through that the need for that spare part, and nationally they can get it to you. One of the other things that I liked about what Frank said was they're a small group. ZEEKR is a small company, and they don't have that processes in place that like legacy car owners do, car makers have, in getting parts from overseas, so they can fly a part over if need be, if the customer needs it. So it's a great thing to hear from a owner's perspective, because ideally I want to be back out on the road as quickly as possible if there is a need to replace a part on the car. So all of that was really good, and I think Scoop was a little bit around they're about to launch a contact center of sorts in Australia, so that we can call in as an owner if we have any questions or needs, and there will be additional accessories like refrigerators, roof racks, etc. being made available shortly for the 7X as well, so we will be able to order those either via the dealer or via the contact center, so that should be good. We also talked a little bit about like what are the some of the strengths of the car. So I mentioned the door locking, and we discussed around the black edition of the 7X. So the 7X itself was has those limited colors, but they've got in other areas they've got the black edition. So that's the black car, black interior, black wheels. Even the ZEEKR logo and the 7X logo are all black. So definitely one of the owners was like who bought the 7X in the black outside and inside, was like, I want the black edition, because it looks pretty cool. And I think some videos are up on YouTube showing that black edition. But it was a pretty long session from a dinner perspective, really close and intimate discussions. Really appreciated that ZEEKR wanted to get to know the owners and provide some feedback. So they're still open for feedback. So if any other owners are there or potential buyers that want to know more about the car and some of the functions, reach out to myself or the ZEEKR staff. They're more than happy to get feedback from the customers and really try to make those changes and improvements. So if yourself as an owner have some feedback, just reach out. I'm sure they'll be happy to understand what your problems are or questions and help you out. Apart from that, I think I just wanted to say thank you to all watching, and talk to you next time. Cheers. Bye.